Hi folks, welcome to my review of Equalizer 3, starring my man, Denzel Washington, and directed by Anton Fuqua. Excuse me, I was just helping a friend recover her missing jewelry. Now, fair warning, I may be the worst person to review any Anton Fuqua-Denzel collaboration. I've had a man crush on those guys and their work since 2001's Training Day. The two of them could shoot a French art house film where Denzel's character talks about how he never understands the meaning of existence while dating multiple women at the same time and munching off his rich wife. In fact, in their next movie, Denzel could just sit there and read off the phone book for 2 hours and I'll still pay good money to see it. In this video, along with my shortest review of EQ3, I'll focus on why Vigilante movies like Equalizer have been getting so much love from the audiences in recent years. By Vigilante movies, I mean Liam Neeson and his special set of skills in the Taken series, Sicario with Benicio del Toro, Nobody featuring Bob Odenkirk, and of course, the John Wick universe led by Keanu Reeves. And you can add the likes of Kill Bill, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, and another Denzel movie, Man on Fire, to that list. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's start with a short, no spoiler overview. Equalizer 3 continues with the adventures of Denzel's character, Robert McCall, a retired Marine gunnery sergeant and Defense Intelligence Agency operative. Since we saw him in the first Equalizer movie in 2014, McCall has been collecting 5-star ratings as a Lyft driver and the souls of baddies who were foolish enough to cross him. In the latest movie, we find McCall in Italy delivering justice for a town full of helpless civilians against a group of hapless gangsters while he's falling in love with a gorgeous woman. It's like an old Western set in the present day. A wounded cowboy comes to town, rediscovers a sense of community and purpose and a joy of life which become his new focus. To protect all of those things and people, he stands up to evil guys. And in the end, the wicked are defeated and the innocents are safe. One bonus from EQ3, 19 years after working together in Tony Scott's remake of Man on Fire, Dakota Fanning reunites with Denzel, where she plays his CIA ally. Equalizer 3 follows a similar plot structure as the first two movies. We get a very satisfying demonstration of McCall's skills right at the beginning. Pew pew. But unlike 1 and 2, after the opening act, EQ3 takes its time with the build-up for the next major showdown. And boy, does it deliver. There's a sequence that feels not like an action thriller, but a horror movie when Denzel's going after a bunch of bad guys. You don't know where Denzel's going to emerge from, and you can barely see him when he does his thing to the bad guys, but you see the ill fate that befalls the baddies very clearly. Unlike horror movies where I sometimes get goosebumps or laughter if I haven't been able to suspend belief, I watch those scenes in EQ3 like that beautiful baby in that reaction video. He's watching the first flight scene in Man of Steel. The baby's going, wee, woo. That was me in the cinema. There is, however, one real shortcoming of EQ3, and that was the villains. They were not that believable, nor complex. Personally, I would have liked to see an exploration of the baddies' background and motives the way they were laid out in Equalizer 1 and 2. Frankly, the gangsters in Equalizer 3 came off across a bit stupid, one-dimensional, a caricature of evil. Of course, did that bother me? No, well, as I was saying, Equalizer 3 could have been a French art house movie and I still would have been sold. So, 2 thumbs up. Go see it. Okay, so what to make of the Equalizer's success? Equalizer 3 has recouped its production budget of $70 million and is now turning a profit. Also, what do we make of the success of many of these Vigilante movies? Vigilantes emerge when institutions that are tasked with upholding the laws and norms of society start to fail. To quote Liam Neeson's character in Batman Begins, the first entry in the Nolan trilogy, crime cannot be tolerated. Criminals thrive on the indulgence of society's understanding. Ergo, someone, a hero, needs to stop the bad guys and root out corruption from society. We live in uncertain times, even though socioeconomic indicators from pretty much every part of the world show how much progress we've made in the last 80 years. An overwhelming majority of us live longer and have better opportunities than our parents. Opportunities that our grandparents couldn't even have conceived. We stay in school longer, we get better education, and we travel more. Very few of us work dangerous jobs. There are exceptions to that rule, of course. My part of the world, the Middle East and North Africa, not so well. The rest of the world, however, is faring better, but by and large. And yet, there are very few places that do not face existential angst today, including and especially the wealthy countries of the world. From migration to environmental degradation, to terrorism, to organized crime, to wealth inequality, to the decline in political and economic freedoms, we see trouble lurking in every corner around the world. And many of us feel that institutions can no longer serve us. They can't even protect us from street thugs and rioters. So who can? A hero. A hero who is, yes, vigilant in the face of bad people who want to do us harm. So in that context, vigilante movies' success depends on their ability to create relatable characters that appeal to men and women. Denzel, for example, snaps in Equalizer 1 because a young woman was forced into sexual slavery. In EQ2, his old friend, a woman and the wife of another good friend, is murdered. In Man on Fire, 10-year-old Dakota Fanning's character is kidnapped by a Mexican cartel, and Denzel's character is unleashed. We see a lot of creative methods of enhanced interrogation in that one, some of which makes Gitmo and CIA black sites look like playgrounds. If you think about it, crime dramas are also popular for many of the same reasons as vigilante action flicks. The criminal leads on TV and cinema are just as popular as righteous heroes, some of them vigilantes, some of them not. Think Tommy Shelby or Tony Soprano or the guys on Broadwalk Empire or Dexter. In a weird way, we fantasize about going outside the strict confines of the law and impose our own brand of justice on the world, when that world cannot carry itself fairly, much like in a Western. Of course, outlaw heroes have to follow the same basic tenet as the vigilantes. You may not always be able to protect civilians, but you definitely cannot hurt them intentionally. You must go after the wicked and punish them, or die trying. By the way, the lines between being just and righteous on the one hand and a vigilante and or criminal have eroded in many movie franchises over the years. We see Chris Evans as Captain America as Goody Two-Shoes in his origin story and in the first Avengers film. But then he finds himself on the run from the law in Winter Soldier, although he becomes illegal once again at the end of that movie. But by the end of Civil War, he's an outlaw, and this is elucidated further in Infinity War. That's not to say that all vigilante movies are equally good or popular, or that every vigilante is believable or even watchable. Just ask Bruce Willis. His remake of Death Wish didn't do so well. And even his highly popular Die Hard series, after the third movie, was mostly a flop. So just as with any motion picture, a good movie making, the script, the direction, the acting, the editing, and the marketing campaign, to name just a few, all have to fall in place to help a vigilante movie hold its own. Has to appeal, has to make sense, but it has to be a good movie. The appeal of vigilante movies is something I'll revisit in future videos. I haven't even gotten into why young men have, love these movies, but there's also a female demographic for them out there. So stand by. Okay, that's it from me. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and please leave a comment below. I'll see you soon.